All right, Jim, and Whitaker will be taking on Nick Parker. An enthusiastic crowd has gathered at the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi, Texas, to watch this one. And, you know, we have been following the pro careers of several American Olympic medalists since November. The results have been varied. The most heralded Mark Breland is 3-0, but he hasn't knocked anybody out, so he's been criticized for that. Meldrick Taylor has looked very good, perhaps looked best of all. And then following the Wood Memorial, we'll see Terrell Biggs, who's been a big question mark as he battles his way back from a drug problem. Time permitting, we'll also be taking a look at Evander Holyfield, who had to settle for the bronze medal in the Olympics after that controversial decision by the Yugoslavian referee. So we're about set for Pernell Whitaker, who won the gold in the lightweight division. No Olympic lightweight gold medalist has ever gone on to win a pro title, but he is 3-0, and he has knocked out all three opponents. And Nick Parker, a substitute 2 weeks ago. Bobby Johnson originally was scheduled to be the opponent here. He was hurt. As we look at the tail of the tape, Parker is 26, Whitaker is 21. Whitaker came in at 136, Parker at 134 this morning. Not much disparity right there, and we are ready for action with Humberto Barrera, the referee, here in Corpus Christi. Whitaker, southpaw, in the scheduled six-rounder. Parker initially trying to steal some of the thunder from the crowd favorite by coming out with tasseled trunks, which elicited quite a response from the crowd. Pernell Whitaker from Norfolk, Virginia.
Watch your head.
Here in Texas, three judges doing the scoring at ringside: John Whitney, Dennis Collins, and Barry Yates. Non-scoring referee Barrera. 10-point must system. There's a mandatory 8, no standing 8. Three knockdown rule is in effect, cannot be saved by the bell, except in the sixth and final round. Nick Parker coming in with a mark of 13-4-1. He lost to Tyrone Crawley, lost a 10-round decision. Crawley next month will be taking on Livingston Bramble for the WBA lightweight championship. So Parker has some class and should be a good test for Whitaker in his fourth pro fight. Pernell trying to stay in control here in the first round. There's a tendency to think of him as an all-out knockout artist, and he does land a good left there. But he has excellent skills, and he's the man who will seek the knockout if the opportunity presents itself. Doesn't necessarily come storming into the ring looking for it outright. Setting a nice pace here in the first round, which is just past the halfway mark. Corpus Christi, Texas. Whitaker with constant pressure. Parker still trying to establish something offensively as Whitaker has been throwing all of the punches of consequence. Whitaker, good right jab. He'll uppercut you. Good straight left hand, great hand speed, great foot speed. Generally an all-around outstanding boxer. And a man that a lot of people feel will, before too long, be ranked in the top 10 and eventually fighting for a championship. And certainly he has done nothing to dispel that in his pro career thus far. He's able to turn Parker around, and it looked like he landed a low blow, but no issue of a warning from Humberto Barrera, though he does cover up as Whitaker tries to work underneath. Good body shots here in the first round that is belonging to Whitaker as it winds its way down. Good right hand right there as the first round of this scheduled six-rounder comes to an end in Texas. Second round as we come to you live from Corpus Christi, Texas. The Olympic gold medalist Pernell Whitaker. On the right, Nick Parker in the white tassel trunks. First round, Whitaker put all the pressure on. He had Parker backing up, never let Parker get into the round. Right followed by a left. He's working the body well, trying to get Parker to drop his hands and seek the opening up top if it is there. And leading with that right and then coming downstairs with the left hand. is yet to throw a punch that's really landed. Goal Whitaker. And he sets it up with a jab. Comes underneath, missing with a right hand. That was picked off. Again, quite similar now to the first round. Whitaker dictating the pace of the fight. This one a little less active, though, overall in round one. Scheduled for 6. Good left hand, and that sends him reeling and into the ropes. And the referee, Humberto Barrera, giving him the mandatory 8 count. He never fully went down to the canvas. Got caught on the bottom strand of the ropes, and up he comes. So Whitaker, with a vicious left hand, getting the knockdown here in the second round. Parker not necessarily showing the effects of it, but Whitaker keeping that pressure on, and it won't be long before he does again. That was a flash knockdown. Good right hand to the body, a good left hand again, and Whitaker keeps putting that pressure on. Whitaker looks very confident. You can just see it in his eyes as he has this one fully in control. A lot of ring savvy, a tremendous amount of poise for somebody so relatively inexperienced, at least in the professional sense, even though he did have an extensive amateur career. There's Parker backing up again in the final half minute of round 2.
All right, wait.
The one thing everybody talked about after the first 3 fights with Pernell Whitaker was that ring savvy that he's exhibited. The great poise. Looks like a man who's been around for 4 or 5 years in the pro ranks. First round belongs to Whitaker. The second round is over. Round 3 here in Corpus Christi. Al Michaels reporting from ringside as you watch Pernell Whitaker very much in control of the first 2 rounds. Whitaker on the right against Nick Parker in this lightweight scrap. Scheduled for 6. Parker going down. Flash knockdown in the second round. Parker, born in Laurel, Mississippi, fighting out of Erie, Pennsylvania now. Whitaker, good body shots. Parker has just not gotten into the fight at all. Again, the pressure on. Parker spending the entire fight backing up. Whitaker, even though he has 3 knockouts and may very well have a 4th until this one is over, doesn't necessarily have that one knockout punch, but you can see what the accumulation is doing to Parker. And Parker, I have a feeling, is not lost to this fight. He's just backing up, taking blow after blow. This is a man who went 10 rounds with a guy who's going to fight for the WBA lightweight championship. I'm talking about Parker. That's Tyrone Crawley, who'll be taking on Livingstone Bramble next month. Good right to the body again.
All right, break.
Pretty much a clinic by Whitaker. Just taking target practice now is Pernell Whitaker. If Parker defends his head and Pernell goes to the body, takes what he's given, basically. Humberto Barrera, third man in the ring. Right jab followed by the left. Another good right. Left hand. Whitaker just actually not only the way he's moving, showing his confidence, but you can, as I said before, see it in his eyes, and he just knows that he belongs here. He's ready to move up quickly in the lightweight ranks. Talking yesterday about the fact he hoped that by the middle of next year he'd be able to get a title shot. Well, that remains to be seen. He's on his way to another good performance. Of course, coming up later following the Wood Memorial. We're going to see Tyrell Biggs, the super heavyweight gold medalist, in action as the third round now ends. Fourth round now from the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi, Texas. Pernell Whitaker dominant in the first 3 rounds in his 4th pro fight, taking on Nick Parker. 6-round lightweight battle. Mike Ackery, the manager, John Russell, the trainer of Nick Parker. Russell was telling him between rounds, he was admonishing him. He said, come on, he's the amateur, get in the fight, back up your words. Parker's been talking all week about how he was going to teach Whitaker a lesson today. Not so to this point. Not remotely so. Nice right jab, good body shots from Whitaker. Whitaker not only offensively doing what he has to do, but defensively as well. Parker has just not thrown any punch that has really meant anything in the 3.5 rounds to this point. Good right hand. That has him backing up again. Whitaker just raining blows on Parker from the start of this bout. Parker's proven to be game, but that's about it. He's taken a lot of punishment. The accumulation wearing him down. Questionably, Whitaker winning every round, on his way to winning this one as well. Whitaker again in a 6-round fight, and he has ended all 3 of his confrontations thus far as a professional with knockouts. Of course, as he moves up, he'll have to go longer distances, and this is as long as he has gone because his KOs have come in the 2nd, 4th, and 4th rounds. And so if this round is able to last, the distance will be going into the 6th round for the first time in his career. He has Parker in trouble, but the bell will save him here in the 4th. This is round 5 with Pernell Whitaker, the lightweight gold medalist, who came in today at 136 pounds, taking on Nick Parker out of Erie, Pennsylvania. Fight totally dominated by Pernell. Good, quick right jab, followed by a left hand. After faking the right, that jab again, comes back in with the right. A real clinic here. First time Pernell has been this far. Round 5. Whitaker 201-14 as an amateur with 91 knockouts. Last fought 5.5 weeks ago. He's only lost 3 times since '81 as an amateur, and he avenged each of those defeats. Well, this round, very much like the previous 4, he has him backing up, raining blows, working on the body. The hands start to drop, comes to the top. Whitaker, 83 and 84 world champ. He was the only Olympic gold medalist to win by knockout in the finals. For our local stations along the line, we will take a station break at the end of this round. Round 5. can end any time. Parker just absorbing whatever Whitaker has to throw at him and really doing nothing in return, and hasn't since the opening bell. There's only been one knockdown, and that was that flash job in the second round. Whitaker moving in, seeking to end it if he can. Still in control, though, is Whitaker. Not wildly seeking the knockout. If it comes, it comes. If nothing else, what will be coming is a unanimous decision win, and we'll return with Wide World of Sports after this from our local station. Sixth round as we come to you live. Pernell Whitaker on his way to a big victory. Has easily won the first 5 rounds against Nick Parker. Again, the Kentucky Derby prep. The Wood Memorial from Aqueduct is coming up following this fight, and then we'll be back with Terrell Biggs. He takes on Mike Perkins in his second professional fight, first in 5 months, as he battles back from his drug ordeal. Pernell Whitaker will be 4-0 after this fight. So the question right now is just how good is Whitaker? Parker really hasn't put up much of a fight. He's just taken everything Whitaker's thrown. But how can you disparage Pernell in the way he has looked at his first 4 fights? As I say, just how good is he? So far, so good. This could be his last fight at the 6th-round distance, as he figures to be moving up to 8. And it's the first time, as we have stated, that he has gone more than 4. Well, it will be interesting to follow Whitaker's path as he starts to stretch it out, meet better quality opponents, and delivering a left hand that again sends Parker backpedaling. Parker has really taken a beating here today. So Parker, who was a substitute as of 2 weeks ago when Bobby Johnson was injured, should have stood in bed. As he gets ravaged here, 45 seconds remaining in the 6th round. You wonder if this won't accelerate the pace of Whitaker as he moves toward what he hopes is a top 10 ranking and eventual title fight. That's about the only question. But he came out of the Olympics as perhaps the most complete of the American boxers in terms of skill. And even though this is the first man, he doesn't stop. As he goes down, it was a slip, and there's the bell that ends it. And we'll come back. We'll have the decision for you. There'll be no mystery there, of course. And Pernell Whitaker will come out of this one with a mark of 4 wins and no losses as he dominates thoroughly from the opening bell to the closing bell. And we'll return to Corpus Christi, Texas in just a moment. Whitaker 4-0. Later on, Terrell Biggs will be in action as he takes on Mike Perkins. We'll come back for that, but right now, let's go to Aqueduct Racetrack in New York and check in with Jim McKay.